everyone. Welcome back to Let's Talk Physical Media, episode 7, I believe.
Is it 7?
It is 7.
Wow.
Yeah, we're moving along. I'm here with Matt, and this is Dexter. That's Matt's dog. He wanted to hang out with us today for a little bit of physical media talk. And we got a lot on this episode, actually. We're going to be talking about Arrow Video's new releases for December. We're going to be talking about the Rockies coming to 4K. And we're going to also show off what Matt and I bought in October. Just a little bit of what we bought in October. September. I'm sorry. It's October 1st, though, the day of filming. So happy spooky season to everyone.
Ooh.
Yeah. And at the end of it, we're also going to do some Q&A. So we have some questions that we're going to answer. So if you have some questions that you submitted, this is the video where we answer them. And we have some questions still from Frank Rodriguez last week that we'll be covering also. So, without further ado, Matt, how was your week?
Not too bad. Been cranking through my Halloween movies, my spooky season movies. Basically, we're on a mission now because this is a very, very big week for physical media.
Yeah.
I think after watching this video, hopefully we'll have our Halloween 4K box set up. And then we got Scream 2 coming soon this week. We got the new scan of the Bram Stoker's Dracula. What is that? Dolby Vision, I believe?
Yeah, they added Dolby Vision and you got the Steelbook, right?
No, I think it's just a slipcover.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have the old version of that 4K. And then we also have Army of Darkness coming to 4K. I bought the Steelbook of that we'll be reviewing. And Night of the Living Dead from Criterion getting a 4K release too.
Yep.
Just in time for spooky season as well.
And then we have the Arrow video, the Vinegar Syndrome Amityville Horror 4K.
And a very popular movie from the 80s for a lot of 80s kids as far as horror goes, Fright Night, coming to 4K this week too.
I got that also coming. That's a Steelbook, I believe. And I think there's one more. Oh, you have Night of the Living Dead, or you talked about that?
I talked about that, yeah. No, we have a lot this week.
Yeah, this is a huge week. We're probably going to be doing 2, maybe 3 videos a day just to try to get this stuff out through the week. So just bear with us. All the big ones we are going to cover. We're going to get them out as soon as we can. I'm going to be filming everything that I can later today. I got to binge all 3 Halloween movies today. I got to get my review up so John can edit it tomorrow. Very, very busy, but very exciting. Big week for physical media and a lot of great titles coming to 4K.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. We're getting a lot of good stuff. And speaking of good stuff, let's talk about some of the new stuff that Arrow just announced, their December releases. If I'm being honest, December's releases for Arrow Video are not my favorite releases that they have done so far.
No.
I think the big one for me that stuck out is Ju-On, and I believe that is the original Grudge movie that eventually came to the United States, which is getting a 4K release from Arrow Video. I think it's 4K.
Is it the original, or is it what's inspired?
It's what's inspired the Grudge. Ju-On came out first. That was during the J-horror days. Like, that's how we got The Ring, and that's how we got the Grudge. It was,
right.
And then they had American remakes of them.
Okay.
So that's coming to 4K. And then also the big one that, for me, another big one that I've never seen, but it's celebrating its 50th anniversary, is Silent Running.
Silent Running. See, I think I've heard of that movie, but I've never actually seen it.
It's a sci-fi movie, and honestly, the Arrow Video box art looks awesome on it. That I'm sold on it just on the box art. I'm gonna pick that up just because I'm curious about what it is. I've never seen it. I have heard of it.
Okay.
Like, I know it takes something with robots, but it's just something I never got around to.
Think of the that's awesome though, because think about it. Like when you went to Blockbuster or even just shopping at a store back in the day. A lot of times before the internet, you based what movie you were renting or buying or wanted to watch by the box art. You know, you have a small synopsis on the back, and you just look at the pictures and the box art. But that's really what sold it. You know, I remember as a kid walking through Blockbuster and Hollywood Video, specifically the horror section, and just the amazing box arts on all these VHSs, and it was just so cool to see.
Yeah, that was the time. When you went to Blockbuster, you bought a movie based on box art. I wasn't, especially when I was young.
Video games, too.
Yeah, I never looked at, like, the reviews or anything. We didn't have that option. Like, now when I'm cruising through a store and I see something on the shelf that I've never heard of.
Pull out your phone,
yeah.
You go to Rotten Tomatoes, or I'll call John. You know, we research it before we buy it half the time. And the days where you just look at it and buy it on a whim are almost gone. I still like to walk into a Best Buy sometimes and blind buy a few things, just, you know, because that's what I'm used to.
The only things that I do blind now are like I try to go into movies as blind as I possibly can. I don't watch the trailer, and if I'm in a movie and the trailers are on, I try and zone out and like just not commit it to memory because I like to go into a movie as blind as possible. That way, I just don't set expectations.
Right.
Because that's the problem nowadays is that there's always so much hype about a movie, or if like a movie looks bad. Like a good example of this would be like The Munsters. The Munsters, we did a review on the channel for this, had one of the worst trailers I ever seen in my life. And I watched that trailer specifically because I heard how bad it was. And I feel like that kind of ruined the movie or people's expectations of the movie. Because the trailer was way worse than the film was. The movie, it wasn't good, but it didn't seem like the abomination we were going to get.
Yeah, I'm yet to see that. I'm not in a rush.
Yeah, at this point, you guys have seen our Hocus Pocus 2 review, and I think Hocus Pocus 2, if you're going to pick one, I'd say pick Hocus Pocus 2. I think that's the
Hocus Pocus 2 was really good. I was pleasantly surprised with that.
But we talk physical media here, and me and Matt were discussing this after Hocus Pocus 2 because the stream was beautiful. Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, but we're never going to get a physical release of that. That is a Disney property, and Disney is the least supportive of physical media. That's why I'm surprised that they gave the rights off to Wally, to Criterion.
But, I mean, I'm not going to lie, the Hocus Pocus stream, I mean, I have an Apple 4K TV, and then my OLED 4K TV, so it's the best equipment possible to stream it, but it looked like we were watching a disc. Like
it was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous. It sounded great.
Yeah, the audio didn't sound
Disney money.
Yeah, exactly. The audio didn't sound compressed at all, and I really was surprised that the sound design was that good from a Disney stream. I mean, Disney has one of the best streams. I would say Disney and Netflix have the two best. If you're a streamer, those are the two best. I feel like the weakest is actually HBO Max.
Most of the time,
yeah. They are hit or miss. Sometimes you get a really good stream from them. It's weird, but Disney, for the most part, always good. Netflix, always good. So, if you're gonna stream, but I would just like to have that next to my Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, you're telling me.
I would have, just the box art alone with a nice slipcover, that still look for the original nice.
Yeah, no, I'm a big Hocus Pocus fan. Hocus Pocus 2 is awesome. Go check out our review.
Alright, and then just to wrap up what else they're doing, they're also doing, I'm probably going to butcher the name of this movie, but I believe it's called Cropier. That's another Arrow video coming out that's only in Europe.
Well, if it's a 4K, it might be
region free.
Yep.
But right now they just have the British flags underneath of that. And then you get Nightmare at Noon, and that I've actually heard of but never seen. And then I'm going to butcher this name, but I'm very curious about the cover. I believe it's called The Leech.
I wonder if it's anything like Speed 2.
I don't know. If Willem Dafoe's getting some leeches on his body, I'm in. So, yeah, I would say, like what we've seen with everything, Criterion, now at Arrow, I would say that like December's kind of like, okay, we'll put some out, but we got all our big stuff out for November and made sure everyone's ready for the Christmas season. But, you got some stuff there if you're interested. I'm very interested in Silent Running and Ju-On. I'm very excited. I'll probably grab both of those and we'll have reviews for them on the channel. So, yeah, one thing that I'm excited but disappointed about is Warner Brothers announced that in February they're releasing Rocky 1 and Rocky 2 on 4K. Now,
if this is like they're doing with the Scream movies, it's just annoying because either release them all at once, release a box set, do so. Why? They're all been out movies, like
that doesn't make sense.
They're old movies. Do them all. Why just nitpick them? It bothers me. Like
in my entire life,
Alien on 4K and not the rest of them on 4K just bothers the shit out of me.
It bothers me too. And now Rocky is this is the one that I never was like, man, I never got that bothered that they didn't do this. Scream bothered me a little bit, but this one bothers me a ton because they've always, since Rocky 5, they've always released the 5 Rocky movies in box sets. There's a Blu-ray box set, there's a DVD box set, I'm pretty sure there's a VHS box set. Ever since then, they've just always released them 1 through 5, one big Rocky box set, just with him on the cover, just, the champion raising his glove, and you get all 5 movies. Because that's how you watch them. They always come out on Thanksgiving, they release them, on whatever, TNT and TBS. You watch all 5 of them, you sit down, you have a marathon. So what, now I get Rocky 1 and Rocky 2 on 4K, but 3, 4, and 5, and 4's the best.
4's the best, right?
Yeah.
That's the one with Dolph Lundgren?
Yeah, exactly. So now I don't get that on 4K. And there's 2 cuts of that now, and we don't get either. What do they get? I think you're right. They're probably going to release 1 and 2, and then the next year maybe they'll go 3 and 4.
It sucks for us, because the Rocky box set on Blu-ray is like $20.
Yeah.
And I've been on the fence about pulling the trigger on that because I haven't seen Rocky in a long time. I was like, it's going on sale, so there's probably a 4K coming, which it looks like there is now. But why not do all of them? What? I don't understand.
Yeah, I got a text from my mother like last week. Because my mom and my brother Ryan, they're huge Rocky fans. Like I like Rocky, but I don't love Rocky. Like I don't like fiend over like a new Rocky movie coming out. But my mother, huge Rocky fan. She's like, when are you guys gonna review Rocky? I was like, we're waiting for a 4K. I was like, so I was hoping that, and that was right before they announced the first two. And I texted her, I'm like, oh, Rocky's coming to 4K, so I'll do that review for you. But I'm a little upset that I can't watch Rocky 4. And like, I want to watch Rocky 4 in 4K. And even Rocky 5 with Tommy Gunn, I'm not going to lie, that's a guilty pleasure of mine. Bad movie, but I'll watch it.
Yeah, like I said, I have probably not seen a Rocky movie in 15, 20 years. It's been a long time. And I'd be interested in revisiting that, but I just want the 4Ks. I don't want to double dip on something I don't love. You know?
Yeah, I get that completely. I don't want to double dip on something either. And I really feel like eventually, because Rocky's always come in a big box set, eventually they will. I mean, I'll get them for the channel, then I'll probably separate them eventually when they eventually get to 3, 4, and 5. I think Creed 2 and Creed 1 are already on 4K, but I could be wrong on that.
Those are newer movies, so probably.
Yeah, I gotta check that. And then Rocky Balboa is that middle one that, not part of the original 5, not part of the Creeds. So I don't know what that even kind of stands. But
yeah, it's just so frustrating.
Yeah.
It really is.
But, as far as everything goes, that's like the official new announcements this week. We got some box art designs, like Pulp Fiction got its official box art I saw.
Yep.
So we can officially say that's coming. And the box art is beautiful. I think it's better than what Reservoir Dogs is doing.
Oh, actually, speaking of updated, I got an email from Best Buy. The Top Gun Maverick, it was only by a day, because it was supposed to be November 1st. My release date changed to October 31st.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder why that is. I don't know.
It says I'm going to be getting it Monday instead of Tuesday now.
Yeah, then when they ship, it might even come earlier.
Saturday.
Yeah. So
well, maybe because it's Monday, maybe I might even get it Friday.
I think that's going to be one of the best looking 4Ks of the year.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for that Atmos track.
Oh my god, it's going to kill. I can't wait to see that. Because if that's a good 4K, that might be my best film of the year. Not to spoil anything, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's close.
It's a Paramount 4K. They're usually pretty good.
That and the Batman.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a lot of good movies. And Everything Everywhere All at Once. And honestly, Pearl.
That movie.
Pearl might be my favorite of the year.
Really? Yeah, I haven't seen Pearl yet.
Yeah.
I liked X, but I have not seen Pearl.
Yeah, so as far as that's pretty much what we got as far as physical media announcements this week. It was a little bit light, but Arrow did release their stuff, and there is a huge sale going on right now at Scream Factory.
Yes.
So, celebrating 10 years of Scream Factory, and me and Matt jumped on that as fast as we could. If you guys are just finding out about this now, Scream Factory celebrating 10 years. They are pretty much everything on the site, including that Friday the 13th box set, is on sale right now.
$79.
Yeah.
For the whole complete Friday the 13th collection. That's incredible. Actually, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
There was recalls on that.
Was there?
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Oh, yes, I do remember this being two of the discs, I believe. I think one of them was the second Friday the 13th, and then there was another one. I think it was skipping, like, a scene, right? Or something like that? Or
I don't know,
replay.
because I just watched through that entire box set, and I didn't have an issue, but when I just clicked on that because I was curious to see which ones were new scans, and they have updates, and it said ones shipping after, like, January 2021 are going to have all the updated discs. So I wonder if we're too late to replace our discs on that.
No, and I got mine at launch, but
so did I.
But I watched mine, and I've been rewatching too, and I whatever the issue was, I'm not noticing it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it was.
But some people must have noticed it. That's another thing. Like, sometimes when those discs have issues, not everyone gets a disc with an issue on it.
Is that true?
That is true. Not every disc. Now, that's not you would think, because usually it's an error when printing the disc. They take the file, they scan it onto the disc. It should always have the same error, but that doesn't always happen. You would think that when they were doing, what do they call it, product testing, that they would have scanned a few discs, ran through them, checked them before they went and finished them off. But,
Yeah, so if anybody's familiar with the issues on the Friday the 13th Scream Factory box set, down in the comments, actually, because I'm curious. I'm not entirely sure what it is, and I haven't looked online for it, but if anybody knows, we'd love to
Yeah, I would love to go back on, like, if you have, like, a minute mark, possibly, of, like, when you see it. I would love to actually check that out on mine and see if I actually have those issues, maybe paying...
One of them was Jason Goes to Hell, too.
Yes, and you just watched that. And you
yeah,
said
I did see the problem, but it was really bad.
The movie itself?
Yeah.
I hate you for saying that. I like Jason Goes to Hell.
That's easily the worst one in the series for me.
Oh, my God. That's insane that you'd say that. But,
what one is worse?
You know, I really don't like. I mean, I think the first one is the first one.
Oh, get the fuck out of here!
I like, but you know what? Going through them in my head, they're really the Friday the 13th are pretty consistently fun. Like,
yeah, they're all good.
If you don't
except that one.
If you don't take them serious, like they're very good, enjoyable movies.
They're all 3.5 to 4.5 star movies. Some of them are 5-star movies.
Actually, you know what? I know which one's the worst. Jason Takes
Don't
Manhattan.
you say it.
Jason Takes Manhattan.
No, that is towards the top for me.
I was bored to tears the last time I watched that.
I love Jason Takes Manhattan.
It has its moments. Like I said, I don't think there's one in there that's like, oh my god, this is terrible. I'm wasting my entire time on like a certain Halloween movie that I watched recently. I just was bored to tears.
What, 3?
5. I watched 5. And I did not like 5. Like, I knew I wouldn't like 5 because I remembered not liking 5, and it turns out I don't like 5 still.
Better than 3.
You shut that goddamn mouth.
John loves Halloween 3.
It's the best in the Halloweens. You have more than one.
That's wrong. But I like to give him shit for it. Actually, I'm even wearing my Halloween 2 shirt right now.
That's a good movie.
It is. It is a good one.
We'll talk about that. We'll have reviews for those soon.
Which we're filming today, actually. So that's why if I have the same shirt on in the next couple videos. We're doing a lot today. Today's Saturday the 1st.
Yep, filming day. First day of Halloween. We should actually have a new Halloween-themed intro for you guys also, going through the spooky scenes.
So, I like that.
Yeah, I'm going to do that today, too. Just a little behind-the-scenes stuff. And speaking of which, what do you want to do, Matt? Do you want to do our pickups for the month first, or our Q&A first?
Let's do pickups. We'll burn through these as fast as we can.
Yeah, I want to say we have a lot of questions.
We didn't talk. Well, I guess
we'll talk about that next.
We could talk sales as we're doing pickups. So I'll start real quick. We'll talk pickups for a minute. So right off the bat, we talked about the Scream Factory sale. So when those come in next week or so, I think we're gonna start doing our pickups weekly instead of monthly because it gets pretty excessive, especially me. I have.
This isn't even everything he picked up.
Yeah, I just nitpicked through what I picked up. I just black out when I see a sale, and I can't stop. The collector in me really.
And we took out stuff that we have reviews for on the channel, so if you see them.
Yes. So stuff we've reviewed already is not going to be in the pile, or stuff we have upcoming reviews for are also not going to be in the pile.
Yeah.
But speaking of sales, if you guys caught the MVD sale. There was some great stuff on there for, what was it, half off?
It was up to 75% on Blue Underground stuff.
Yeah, everything was like $20. So one of the first things I picked up was Uncle Sam. I didn't watch this one yet. I'm going to wait for 4th of July because this is a 4th of July movie. But this one came with a slipcover. The lenticular little thing, I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up or how it looks, but it's got Isaac Hayes, that's a chef from South Park.
And he's also
I've never seen him in live action.
Yes, you have.
Oh, have I?
Yeah, you've seen Escape from New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's great in it. He drives one of the coolest cars. I'll say it every time we talk about one of the coolest cars. Yeah, chandelier on the car.
I never seen this movie. It looked corny. It was $20 for MVD. Oh no, this is a Blue Underground. So for $20 for a Blue Underground with a slipcover and a really cool slipcover and a corny slasher, I'm in.
Yeah.
And then I think we both picked up Maniac.
Yep.
Right? So we'll go back to that.
Yeah.
So we both picked up Maniac. Neither of us got slipcovers on that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch it yet?
No, but you said it was a great 4K.
I did watch it. It's a good 4K. This is the first time I've ever seen it, so I have nothing to compare it to. But it's an older movie, so it's not going to look beautiful. But it's the gritty, disgusting, like...
It gets under your skin.
Oh,
this guy's a legit serial killer, and he's got a messed up mind.
I was describing just this New York City.
Oh, New York.
It caught a really dark side of New York City.
I believe it's 1980, and New York in 1980 was horrible.
Yeah? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It still is, but...
Yeah, but not as bad.
And then I have one last from Blue Underground, which I ordered a couple days before the sale on eBay. I think I paid $30 for it, but this was on sale for $25 or $20 on the sale, and this is Maniac Cop 3. And I still got the slipcover with it. This is the second best in the series, in my opinion. I would say Maniac Cop 1, 3, and then 2. That's my rating.
Wow, most people like Maniac Cop 2 the most, so that's weird that you have that. I bought Zombie. I started this. I checked out the 4K, and it's a great transfer. It's actually got a good amount of film grain on it, but a beautiful transfer. I have actually only seen this movie. I actually have never seen this movie. I'm sorry. Until I started watching it the other day. It seemed pretty good. I know this is a lot of people's favorite zombie movie as far as the subgenre of horror, so I'm looking forward to actually finally watching the entire thing. Matt didn't grab it because he does not like dubs, if you can believe that.
Yeah, no,
it takes him right out of it.
Yeah, I have a tough time with the dubbed soundtracks.
Yeah, I get that, but actually, from what I could tell with this one, pretty good dub, and and if you want, you can watch with the subtitles as always.
Gotcha. Next, we're going to talk Horror Pack. So, Horror Pack, we talk about it in a couple other videos. It's a monthly subscription. It's a blind box, basically. Everyone gets the same ones, but it's random assortment until the first person gets it, and they'll post a picture on Instagram or something. So, basically, you could do, I think it's $20 a month for DVDs and $25 for Blu-rays. So you pay $25 a month and you get 4 random Blu-rays. Actually, the other one is on my double shelf. I forgot to grab it. But the first one was Pet Sematary, and then it came with a digital version of Pet Sematary 2, but I already have both of those on 4K, so it's over on my double shelf. I forgot to grab. The next one they gave us was Paranormal Activity 2. I'm not happy about this, A, because I don't love these movies. They scare the shit out of me. And there's a huge box set coming out.
Next week.
Which I would end up just getting the box set instead of buying them single.
I might buy that box set and review it on the channel. Matt's scared of those movies, but
yeah.
I think that the original 3 of the Paranormal Activities tell a great story, and the third one goes back to the 80s, and you would love that. Because they really nailed the tone, and yeah, they're scary movies. Like they're,
Yeah, and it's like a Scream Factory level box set. It's like
really it looks nice good. Somebody actually has it already, and they were taking pictures of it, and it's like it's got clear cases in it with a big, nice slip box.
Yeah, I want to pay, and it's only like $60.
Yeah, it's pretty. You know what I noticed though? Like those horror movies, same thing like with the Saw movies, which box set coming soon. Yeah, that too. They're usually pretty cheap because it's
a studio release, it's not a boutique label.
Yeah, and also Paranormal Activities are basically filmed on the same kind of cameras we use to film this, if not way worse because it's in the late 2000s.
Yeah, so maybe I'll man up and try them again because I really want that box set.
It's a nice box set. Yeah. It really is. I'm on the. And I like the movies. I think they're pretty good. They're
I didn't hate the movies. It just scared the fucking balls off me because that's.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen, because 1 is the least scariest of the original 3.
That's the only one I saw.
Yeah, that one actually, because they got a little more money for 2 and 3, and they started to get a little bit scared.
That's the one when they put the powder on the ground.
Yeah,
and you see the fucking the marks, and then the girl's floating around the room, and she's just standing there for the time lapse.
Yeah, wait till you see 3 when they start adding kids into the mix, and then you're gonna really have a fun time.
Yeah, I don't know about those. Next up was Crabs. I have no idea what this is. They're saying it's a horror comedy. It's I guess big crabs come alive, and I don't know. It's like,
well, maybe it's about a person who got crabs.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that's what it is. But
that's a horror movie for some people.
It's actually got Horror Pack on the spine, and it's from Raven Banner. I don't know. And it's a Region ABC Blu-ray, which you don't see often.
No, that's a rarity.
So this I'm very interested in checking out. It was official selection at the Arrow Video Fright Fest. Interesting, I'm going to check it out. And then with the Horror Pack, you get 1 limited edition exclusive to Horror Pack that you cannot get on Blu-ray anywhere else unless you're downloading and making your own Blu-rays, which is what they basically do anyway, because these aren't pressed by any studio or anything. Horror Pack does it themselves, and it's got just like an inch. Like usually, this one actually doesn't have it, but a lot of the times the director signs the back, and it says Horror Pack exclusive. This is number 75. All right, so let's talk Scream Factory. What'd you get from Scream Factory?
Scream Factory. Well, I did a lot of this over here because we did the Wes Craven video. So you got Cursed, and then you also got The People Under the Stairs. I grabbed these from Scream Factory. These are great. I think my shocker is in here somewhere.
No, it's not.
It's not? Well, anyway, I must have forgot that. But anyway, I got Night of the In the Mouth of Madness, which is one of my favorite John Carpenter movies. Very underrated, starring Sam Neill.
I just picked that up on the sale, so that's coming.
Yep, and then I also got Funhouse on 4K. We do have a review for this. I don't know how I slipped this in, but yeah, if you haven't checked out the Funhouse, Matt was saying this is actually a little bit hard to get already. The fog is hard to get.
Even that, I'm just saying, in Best Buy stores, all the Best Buys I've seen haven't had that or the fog on the shelf.
Yeah,
but they have loads of Child's Play, Platoon, and Fatal Attraction. I've seen a bunch of the other stuff, but just not those. For some reason.
All those are on sale right now for Scream Factory releases.
So for Scream Factory, I picked up for $30 the Fly collection, brand new. And this has the original trilogy plus the remake and the remake sequel, which I've only seen the remake. I've never seen the other ones, but you know, I've seen this in other people's videos and in pictures and stuff recently. I'm like, that is a cool looking box set. I love the colors. So I got it for $30. I thought it was out of print. I didn't know you could still get it, and it's actually on the sale right now on Scream Factory for like $32 if you go into the box set options under the October
Shoptober sale.
Yeah, the Shoptober sale. Then I grabbed Happy Death Day to You. No slipcover, unfortunately. I have the original on Blu-ray. I remember enjoying it. Haven't seen the sequel, and so I grabbed this. I'll probably upgrade the first one to 4K also because that's also Scream Factory. But I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet.
Happy Death Day to You is actually a very good movie if you haven't seen that. It kind of, instead of just being a straight horror movie, becomes a sci-fi horror movie. So I think you'll enjoy it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then I picked up a couple TV shows. Speaking of also Scream Factory, this is Shout Factory, but the complete series of Beetlejuice on DVD. It's not on Blu-ray, but I was a huge fan of the Beetlejuice cartoon, and I just watched the Beetlejuice 4K, so I was like, I'm really in the mood to watch the cartoon. And I got it for like $22 from Best Buy.
Not a bad deal.
I think it just came out, yeah. And, you know, it's pretty nice. I watched a couple episodes, and I don't know if it's just because it's DVD, but it doesn't look fantastic. But again, it's a cartoon. It's from Shout Factory. It's probably the best we're going to get on physical. So I have it, and I don't think it's streaming anywhere. So.
I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, that's a late 80s, early 90s cartoon, so it's not
Is it?
Yeah.
That old?
I think it's that old.
No.
Hold on.
Because I remember watching it on cartoon. I guess
so did I.
Scooby-Doo, but that's from like... Then I also picked up from Lionsgate the complete classic collection of Ninja Turtles. This is the entire cartoon series of the Ninja Turtles, which I also grew up
1991.
watching. Wow. So this has all 10 seasons, 193 episodes. How many discs are in here? And I think I picked this up for like 20-something bucks on Amazon.
Not bad.
Yeah. And then last but not least for TV shows, I picked up the complete series of the Sons of Anarchy. And is this 4K or Blu-ray? Okay, this is just Blu-ray.
That's actually on Blu-ray. I actually wouldn't have expected that. I have DVDs of those.
Oh, you have DVDs?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'll give you. I have season 1 by itself. I'll give you that Blu-ray if you want. But this is Region ABC Blu-ray, and this was like $60 off Amazon as well.
Yeah, it's got the European tag on it as far as age range.
Yep, but it says Region ABC right there, so this will play in any region player, and they're on Blu-ray.
And then I'm going to actually show you guys some things, some little quick up. Matt actually bought a gift for me this month. He was at Best Buy, and he saw 1408, and he asked if I wanted it. And he grabbed it for me, and I love this movie.
I grabbed that also, but that's why I'm not showing mine.
This is one of the best, actually very underrated horror movies that you could ever find. Based on a Stephen King short story, John Cusack, Samuel Jackson. I can't say enough good about this if you haven't checked out 1408. It is awesome. Matt also gave me this because he has the actual. You have the Criterion. I don't have this.
Is it Arrow or Criterion?
No, it's Criterion.
It's Criterion.
Yeah, Matt has the nice one. I don't have it, so he gave me his. He never opened it. Fast Times at Richmond High.
Because I streamed it, loved it, bought it, and then I didn't watch it because I just bought it. I just streamed it, and then I saw the Criterion version. I was like, well, I gotta have that. And then
it's a nice Criterion too.
Yeah.
And then Matt bought this for me for $1 also because he has the 4K, and that's Arizona, which he really enjoys. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then Matt and I both got Arachnophobia, which you've never seen.
That was $6 at Best Buy still, I think.
Yeah, and this movie actually stars John Goodman, or as Matt likes to say, Dan from Roseanne. And Jeff Daniels, who was a favorite of ours, Dumb and Dumber, Speed, all that stuff, terms of endearment for me.
Don't get dead.
Yeah. But, I actually do have Arachnophobia, so actually this movie does scare the shit out of me. It makes me very uncomfortable. Even Eight-Legged Freaks kind of makes me uncomfortable, because I don't like spiders. And then another one that Matt actually gave me because he has...
That came in the horror pack.
Yep, and that's History of Horror, starring... And you said you wanted seasons 2 and 3 on Blu-ray, right?
Yeah, I just ordered season 2. That's coming this week. That was really fun, the Eli Roth thing. It was a TV show on AMC, and they put it on Blu-ray, thank God, because I don't have cable. And it was really fun. You know, I love horror documentaries, and that's basically what it is. And each episode kind of has a theme. And he has a ton of guests. Quentin Tarantino was on there, Rob Zombie, a bunch of other horror directors. Stephen King, I think, was on there. It was really cool, and I'm really excited to check out season 2.
Yep. And one thing we couldn't actually show in our Poltergeist review because we only had the slipcover at the time was I bought the 4K Steelbook because Poltergeist is one of my favorite movies ever, and I actually really think it's a nice Steelbook as far as the art design. You know, you got her climbing out of the pool. Now, that's not an actual picture. That's actually like a painting. And then you open it up, and same thing, you got her on the back, black, really matte finish to it. And then on the inside, you got Carol Ann. This is right before she gets sucked into the closet. And 2 black discs on the inside. So I do think that this is really good, and a warning, you know, because of the flashing light for anyone who has...
Epilepsy.
Yeah, so for people with epilepsy and photosensitivity, just be aware.
So I picked up, after watching our Wes Craven stuff, I watched The Hills Have Eyes, so I wanted to check out the remakes, and they're actually out of print. I ended up picking up the original off of that new Whatnot app. Jeff from Films at Home turned me on to that, and I got a $15 credit. So I put my $15 credit toward this, and I think I won the auction for like $23 for The Hills Have Eyes, the original remake on Blu-ray, because this is out of print, and it goes for a few bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after watching that, I was like, well, shit, I want to see the second one. I think I paid like another $20 for this on eBay, and this was Hills Have Eyes 2, which I really enjoyed. I actually really like this one a lot. That might even be my favorite. I think actually, in release order, they get better. Like, the original is probably my least favorite, then I would like... Yeah.
I have the 4K from Arrow of it, actually. I picked this up this month, too, for when we do
Not a terrible movie, but it's probably my least favorite out of them. Then I like the original Part 2 better. Then I like the remake. And then I like this one the best, I think. Hills Have Eyes 2 remake.
Oh, that's good. You know, most series, when you start out, the first one's the best, and they start to progressively get worse.
Yeah, I think they flip-flopped on this
And actually, Wes Craven, though, didn't direct the remake and the remake sequel. He is a producer on it, so he had his fingers involved in all of the Hills Have Eyes from the very beginning.
And then we talked about X already, but I picked that up on Blu-ray just because I really like the slipcover, and it was pretty cheap. I really enjoyed this movie. Haven't seen Pearl yet.
Might be the best of the year.
And this is going to be a first-time watch for me. I'm waiting for later in the month, but that is The Crow. John said I have to watch this the day before Halloween?
Yep, that's when it takes place, on the day before Halloween.
So I'm waiting until then to check this one out, but pretty excited because I love me a Halloween movie.
The only thing that actually you might respect is the one thing I love The Crow, by the way, just right at the top, starring Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, who actually tragically died while they were making that, and the villain, Top Dollar, is awesome. But that takes place the day before Halloween, and I always think of the day before Halloween as Mischief Night because I grew up watching Rocket Power as a kid.
Yeah.
So So I was thinking of October 30th as Mischief Night.
So my one Lonely Arrow video pickup this month was the American Werewolf in London. This movie means a lot to me. I love this movie. I watched this for the first time with my dad. My dad's a big fan of this movie, and I just had a great time watching. I was like, oh, that was really cool. I was really into it. And I had the Steelbook Blu-ray for a while, but I saw this come out from Arrow. Comes out with the book and the poster and all that stuff, the nice hardcover. This was a super nice release, and I got it for like $30. I'm really glad to have this. I haven't watched the 4K yet, but I will be watching it pretty soon.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then actually when I bought that and the Vestron edition of Candyman Day of the Dead. I think I paid $35 shipped for the two off of Facebook Marketplace. So shout out to whoever hooked me up on these. But this was still brand new, sealed with a slipcover. I never seen this one. He likes Candyman way more than I do. But they're worth a watch for me. I'm gonna check it out eventually.
I don't think the Candyman sequels after you got that one and Fear the Flesh. I don't think are very good. But you got the Candyman. The original is my all-time favorite horror movie, and then the remake is I guess it's actually still a sequel. Candyman from 2019 is still really good in my opinion. I like it a lot.
Now, speaking of sequels that aren't good, that is The Wishmaster. So I picked this up for like $20 because it was 4 movies, and at the restaurant, I was in Best Buy, and this was a blind buy at Best Buy. They sold me on the really cool slipcover.
Which is awesome, and I love the Vestron does their own logos.
Yeah, I'm really into Vestron lately. I really like what they've been doing, but they don't have the strongest catalog in my opinion. But the first movie was pretty good, and then they just go downhill from there. 2 is and then 3 and 4 were oof. But it was worth the pickup in my opinion. I like Vestron, and they were okay movies. But my favorite Vestron so far is actually number 1 on their spine. This is their first release in their collector's series, and that's Chopping Mall. This movie was awesome. I had a great time with this, and you've seen this before, right?
Oh yeah.
This was like almost a 5-star movie for me. I had a great time with this.
I knew you were gonna love that movie when you said you never saw it. I was like, you never saw Chopping Mall? I was like, I knew that was right up your alley.
Yeah, this is super fucking cool. I like this movie a lot, and I'm gonna throw this in the rotation every single year because I really enjoyed that.
And then last but not least,
it just came today, and that is the Vinegar Syndrome Amityville Horror. I'm not going to dive too deep into this because we will be doing a video soon. Actually, we're going to have a couple of videos for this because we're going to compare the remake, which I just picked up also.
Starring Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I remember seeing this in theaters.
Yeah, we saw it together.
Okay. That's probably the last time I saw it.
Really? Nah, I actually like that movie. It's good. It's a good remake.
Yeah, so I'm excited to check it out. But this is my second Vinegar Syndrome release ever. And I'm really starting to get turned on to Vinegar Syndrome stuff because they do really nice work. And they put a lot of time and effort into just the little
the box design.
The slipcover is really nice. And then, I don't know, I can't wait. I can't wait to pop this into the player. But I don't know when we're going to get to that because we have a long list, but this will be out sometime.
Yeah, I'm going to do that review because Matt is very backed up this week.
Oh, I'm not helping you on this one?
No, probably because we got to get that out soon, and you got to watch Scream 2, 3 Halloweens, and Dracula Fright Night.
I think I have 6 movies to review this week, so buckle up.
Yeah, that'll be my first of the week. But now we're going to dive into the Q&A part of this, and we actually have a good amount of questions, but we have to finish Frank Rodriguez's questions from last week we never got to. And these are all related to YouTube, actually, and all what we are doing. So, number 1, what are your goals for the channel for the remainder of the year? And then number 4 after that, what are your personal goals as a YouTuber? What are your personal goals outside of YouTube? How do you balance your personal and YouTube life? How would you describe your YouTube channel and why you should potentially subscribe? Choose your channel over others.
That's all one question?
No, that's questions 3 through 7. He asked us the first 2 last week. But I figured they're all related to YouTube. I guess we could take them one at a time. So what are our goals for the remainder of the year? Actually, I think for the remainder of the year, a simple goal. We had one goal going into this year, and that was simple. Hit 1,000 subscribers and hit 4,000 watch hours and get monetized. That's the goal. And we hit the 4,000 watch hours a while ago. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers. So if you were watching this video and you haven't subscribed to us, that's the main goal. If you could help us out hitting that subscribe button, that really is, right now, that's the biggest way to help us out is just by subscribing to the channel. We also have now an Amazon affiliate link that somebody helped us out with, who's actually becoming one of our biggest fans, and he's helped us out actually a lot. If you ever want to just help us out and you want to buy those 4Ks that we review, there's a link in Amazon that if you use our link, we get a little bit of a cut of the pie from Amazon. So, that would help us out too. But really, our goal for the whole year is just 1,000 subscribers, right?
And we're getting there. We're what, at 820 something right now?
As of this moment, 828.
Yeah, so we're less than 200 away. This is we're almost at the final stretch. And I really think this week with all the new releases is really going to bump up our numbers. Because every time we put out a 4K review, we'll get a handful of subscribers. This past week when we did I Know What You Did Last Summer and The Evil Dead, that was a pretty nice bump for us. And so I think these next 6 or 8 movies that we're going to be reviewing, I think that's going to help us out. Plus we have all those big November 1st.
Yeah.
So November is another big month. So I think by the time Christmas rolls around, we're going to be knocking on that 1,000 subscriber door. And yeah, that's, again, I'm going to pretty much echo what John said, and that's our main goal as of right now.
Yeah.
And then once we start getting monetized, then we can start bringing it to the next level.
Which leads right into question number 4. What are your personal goals as a YouTuber? And that is actually, for me, I don't know if me and you have the same goal, but for me, YouTube, I want this to be my one and only job, is to review movies, review 4Ks, review games, talk movies on YouTube. That's it for me. That's what I want. I want it to be my only job. I work at right now, me and Matt both have full-time regular jobs. This isn't our job. This is actually right now 100% of what we do for free on our free time. Everything you see, the camera, everything we bought with our own money. We started a business. We actually are a legal, what do they call it? We have an LLC.
Yeah.
So this is a business. Our whole goal is to make Let's Talk into a full business. It doesn't even just have to be fully YouTube, but YouTube is the main goal for me personally. This is my dream. This is what I wanted to do.
We invested a ton of money into this, a ton of time.
Yeah.
Like, John does all the editing now because I pull my hair out when I was trying to edit. And I'm not stupid when I built my computer, I play a ton of video games. I understand how to work a computer, but the editing just drives me insane. And now John does all the editing just so it stays uniform and one person's doing it. And it is a lot of work, especially this week. He's got a lot of stuff to put out, and he works nights, so he does this stuff before he goes to work. And then he goes to work for the night, and then I get home and all I have to do is watch a movie and send him a video. So, I mean, I guess I got the better end of the stick here, but in my opinion, he loves the editing. So.
Yeah, I do. So it's not really like he's describing it like a punishment, but I like to edit. That's one thing that I discovered when we did YouTube, is that I really enjoy editing. So if I eventually, if I even spin off and start my own editing business, I wouldn't mind that, editing other people's videos, if I could afford to quit my job, because... Yeah, Matt said it. I have a Sunday through Thursday job where I work at night, and it's, I hate it. I hate my job, but, eventually I want this to be my job, but, it's not free.
And that's the thing is, I actually really like my job.
Yeah.
I work for Home Depot Rental, but I don't belong to a store. I have a 2019 F350 with a 20-foot open deck equipment trailer that comes home with me every day, and I just deliver bobcats, skid steers, excavators, scissor lifts. I deliver all the heavy equipment that some people can't go to the store and pick up themselves, or they just order it for delivery. So I'm in the rental business. So I deliver heavy equipment, and I'm just driving a truck and trailer all through Long Island, New York City, all day. So I have to sit in a lot of traffic, but you know what? The truck comes home with me. I get paid from when I leave my house till when I get home. So I don't really care if I hit traffic that much, and I'm listening to my podcasts, I'm watching YouTube while I'm driving, I'm having a great time. So, I don't mind my job. My boss is awesome. My coworkers are cool. So I don't mind my job, and then I come home and I get to do this, which I would do most of this stuff anyway, Maybe I'll watch a handful of movies that I wasn't really in the mood to watch or ready to watch. My video game time has been cut down. That's probably the only thing that I've noticed. But, if we get to the point where we both quit our jobs, then, hey, that's a bonus for me. Yeah.
And then he also asked, how do you balance your personal and your YouTube life? For me, it's very hard, because I am married, and I edit and watch movies. So, like Matt said with video games, I love video games, but I very rarely get to play that anymore. The goal of this channel was to be video games and movies, and it's really shifted more towards movies with some video game videos sprinkled in, but it was supposed to be originally a clean split. Mm-hmm. And we just found out that making video game videos were a lot harder than making movie videos. So for people who do video game reviews, really appreciate them, because we found out that is a lot harder.
Well, and the big thing with that was a lot of these guys that are doing game reviews get a review code weeks before the release. We were buying the game on release day, and then trying to run through as much of it as we can in the first 12 hours, then film and edit a video, and before we even really knew how to edit efficiently. So it was just, I was like, I can't do this, I don't want to do this, I quit, I'm done. And so we kind of transitioned to the movies things, which has been taking off because most of our viewers were really coming to us for the movies anyway, and our gaming stuff wasn't really getting traction. So we'll pepper it in here and there because we love
video games.
Both love video games.
Yeah, like that. We don't want to ever get rid of that completely. And some of our subscribers do like our video game views, even if they don't do as well. It's like, all right, well, we like video games. We want to talk about video games. At least some people interact with us with video games. But yeah, balancing personal life and YouTube life is extremely hard. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, the balance is... I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm out the door at 6 o'clock. But I'm home usually by like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I have the whole rest of the day. I'll watch something like... Recently, I've been watching 3 movies a day after I get home from work just to get through all the stuff. So I have more free time than I guess John does, and then plus his editing. So he definitely gets all the credit, I think.
Yeah, in the mornings I will I'll wake up at 7 in the morning. I will edit from like 7 to 11. Then I'll get ready for work, and then I go to work. Then I come home, and then whatever movie I need to review as far as the 4Ks go, because I don't work overtime. That's one thing because of my vision. So I definitely only work 8 hours, so I know I'm coming home. And then I'll sit down with a 4K, and then I will, test it out, look at it, make sure it's all good, and then the next morning I'll film the review for it and edit, and that's just the cycle. And then the weekends I get a little more free time. Mm-hmm. Definitely gotten faster at editing, so I can edit a video quicker, so it's not as much. Like in the beginning, yeah, it was really hard. I knew nothing. And then, okay, so let's move on. What are your personal goals outside of YouTube? I'm married, so I've pretty much hit them. I eventually, maybe get a newer house, a nicer house. My house right now, like I've said before, it's kind of a shack. But, outside of YouTube, I don't know. I have my dogs. I'm pretty happy with my life, other than, obviously lack of free time. But other than that, I don't have too many complaints. I wish I had a better job. That drives me insane. I don't like being there. But, I don't know. What about you? You have any other goals?
I would love for this YouTube channel to take off so we could start making a little bit of extra income so it can alleviate at least my addiction to buying all these 4Ks and video games, and because
get some debt down would be nice.
Yeah, a little. And we live on Long Island. It's very expensive to live here, and we do okay as far as money goes, but it's tough. We're definitely very tight on money, so I would like to, be a little bit more financially secure.
Yeah, I don't know if we give off the impression, because of all the movies we buy, they must do pretty good at their jobs.
No, we're just very stupid with money.
Yes. So, yeah, you come to us for 4K Blu-ray reviews. Do not, and I mean this in the best way possible, do not come to us for financial advice ever. Because unless you want to come to us and, we've said it, we'll run somebody's hedge fund. If you need somebody to spend money, we're very good at spending money.
Oh, I hate money. I'm very good at spending it.
Yeah.
Get rid of it as fast as possible.
Yep, and then the last one, how would you describe your YouTube channel and why you should potentially subscribe to us over other channels? And this is actually a really good question because we try and stick out in the crowd. We don't want to try and rip off what other people do. We try and be as different as we possibly can. The big thing I think is that what you're getting from me and Matt is you're getting me and Matt. We're not faking this. This is us. We talk like this when we talk to each other. The worst we try and do is we try and cut down on the cursing because me and Matt definitely do curse a lot.
Well, I'm a truck driver, so I have a truck driver's mouth.
Yeah, and I'm just terrible with it. And sometimes you'll hear, it slips in here and there just because that's how we talk. I can't help it.
They're sentence enhancers.
Yeah, I say the word fuck more than a normal person should say, and I get that, and I know that. And that's the only thing, but it is me and Matt. This is who we are. We're not faking this. We don't lie. All our opinions on movies and stuff, it's not I'm not going to give a positive review to something if I don't like it. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. Matt will give you his honest opinion. That was the big thing going. It's we're not going to lie to you guys. If we like something and you don't, that's understandable. If we hate something and you love it, again, that's understandable. You don't have to agree with our opinion. It's just our opinion,
Right. And I want to echo a lot of what he said, but I also want to add to it. You go on YouTube right now, there is 100 different channels doing the same thing we do. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's hard to stick out in the crowd because how many people are going to be putting out this Halloween 4K box set review, So it's really, whose opinion do you value? So we want to make sure that you value our opinion. We want to be credible to you guys. So again, we're going to be honest with you. So recently, I got called out a lot for my Friday the 13th review. Mm-hmm. When I watched it, I didn't see anything wrong with it. but it also it comes down to equipment. So you got to remember, I have pretty high-end equipment that I'm watching these discs on. I have a very expensive 4K player. I have a very expensive OLED TV. I spent money on expensive HDMI cables. I have an expensive sound system. So, my experience might be different than Joe Schmo that got a doorbuster Walmart TV and is using an Xbox One. So we try to be honest and upfront with everything as best as we can. But why you should subscribe to us, trying our heart out here. We're trying to get as much in as little or
in a short amount of time as possible.
Yeah, we're trying to get everything out there, a variety of stuff. Like there's some stuff that John puts out that I would never ever think to even see myself, and then like there's movies that I review that John would never want to see or has seen and wouldn't see again. So you get a variety with the two of us, and we try.
You learn our tastes. Like there's gonna be a movie that like Matt loves that I'm just gonna be like, no, that's terrible. And I'll tell Matt to his face, I think it's terrible.
Yeah. So we try to cover all the bases. We try to give you a variety. We try not to be too stale. So I guess that's why we're. Why you should subscribe to us.
Yeah, we are who we are. And also, we put a lot of time into those thumbnails. I hope you like them. I think that those definitely stick out when you're scrolling by, Because, like, most people, they put their YouTubers on it. And we tried that for a little while because at the beginning, we were trying to get recommendations. But, Matt's really ugly. And despite that, like, how good I look, it's... sometimes I guess it doesn't draw people. Our buddy Tony O, he sent us 2 questions. I'm going to do a question from him and then a question. We have another guy who sent us 2 questions, and then we're going to see on time if we want to answer. If not, we'll save 2 more for next week. But Tony's first question is, if you had to choose one, which horror franchise would you like to see a prequel? For me, Nightmare on Elm Street would be cool. Maybe diving into the younger Freddy character. Robert Englund will always be Freddy, but in this case, a prequel, they wouldn't have to use him, which actually I think I agree would actually cover up the fact that Robert Englund is really old now, and I don't know if you can bring him back at his current age.
Right. So my first answer, I know, because we kind of got a prequel with the Halloweens.
We 100% did.
Rob Zombie did that. Friday the 13th doesn't really need one because we know
the entire backstory.
We know what happened with that.
I actually have a good answer for this. And it's very easy. I would like a Child's Play prequel.
That's where my mind went. Also before he went to the doll.
I want to see Charles Lee Ray as the serial killer. I don't remember what they call his serial killer character, but like, I would love to see what he was doing because at the very beginning he gets caught. The very first Child's Play, he gets caught, and that cop has been chasing him. So you could have really got a nice horror story about Child's Play, Charles Lee Ray, the serial killer, and how this cop is trying to find him and he can't catch him. And then obviously we eventually know he does, but yeah, you can get a really good like cat and mouse game in there.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Even if they did it like a Rob Zombie Halloween style, where they did the first half of the movie before they went to the doll. Or, well, no, that wouldn't make sense because we got Child's Play 1 already.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my shelf right now because I face all the big ones that I like. And, you mentioned Nightmare. I don't want to steal that. I mean, my mind went to Child's Play also, so that might be my answer also.
Yeah, because we just know nothing about Charles Lee Ray other than, like, stories we heard. Like, we just know that he was a serial killer.
Scream wouldn't work.
No, you can't do Scream.
There's not really a prequel to that,
I just had one in my head, too. Oh, 1408 would be a good one also because, like, other people have gone in that room, and we can get, like, a story about another person going in that room.
Yeah, I don't remember that movie.
It is getting a prequel already with Derry that's coming out, so we'll get to see some of those former stories. But yeah, for me, I think it's definitely Child's Play. I think that's the one I would love. I would love to see a Child's Play prequel with Charles Lee Ray. Obviously, you can't get back the original actor Brad Dourif. He's also aged a lot, and he was young in the 80s, so it'd be very hard to do that. But maybe with deepfake. Hey, who knows?
And we're getting a prequel on Jeepers Creepers also, right?
Reborn.
Yeah, so that's that would be my next. Those are the big ones for me. I don't know. That's a tough question.
All right. And then another Tony O question because we'll have time to answer them both. Hey, Dex, welcome back, buddy. And if Freddy, Jason, Michael, Chucky, the Creeper all fought to the death, who would you expect to be the last one standing? And this is tough because we have seen Jason and Freddy fight already.
And who won that? I mean,
it's kind of Jason won the fight, like in a head-on fight.
But it wasn't over because Freddy didn't really die.
No, Freddy didn't die.
So here's how I think it would play out. Chucky's obviously the first one gone. You know, sorry, Chucky, you ain't gonna make it. These are heavy hitters. You
can die, yeah. The other ones can't really die.
These guys are heavy hitters, you know, so you ain't gonna make it too far. Maybe you'll slash a couple of them in the shins or something, but I think the Creeper's just gonna pick you up, fly 100 feet in the air and just drop you, and then you're out of here. Honestly, it's tough because Michael doesn't sleep, Jason doesn't sleep, so Freddy, you know, what's he gonna do? Unless we're putting Freddy in the real world, it'd be a good fight, but I honestly think at the end of the day, I think the Creeper.
So that's what I was going with too. I think the Creeper
because he's a big fucking thing,
and he clearly doesn't sleep either. But he only comes every 27 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But those years, he's unstoppable. He clearly can be killed, and he can just eat parts to like keep going.
It would be a bloodbath. It'd be a fantastic fight. But I think at the end of the day, I think my money's on the Creeper. You know, just because he can fly. You know, he's just
very underrated as far as horror villains go.
Creature, yeah.
He's scary looking, man, and
because Jason's just a big dumb idiot.
Yeah, I feel like Freddy. That's why it's surprising. Like Freddy thought he had the upper hand on him, but he's a brute.
Yeah, he's a brute. He's all muscle, he's all brawn, no brains.
Yeah.
But again, you can't really kill Jason.
No, he always comes back.
You can't seem to kill Michael Myers, so it's gonna be a bloodbath.
Yeah, Freddy is the smartest of the whole. I don't know. The Creeper's pretty fucking smart.
yeah, he can smell your fear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know Freddy is the smartest, I would say.
And, alright, so let's move on to our next question. This is from Gordon Freeman, and this is our newest. He's subscribed from our gaming videos, so he's a big gamer, and he's a fan of our gaming stuff, so he asked a couple gaming questions.
I'm assuming he's a Half-Life fan.
Yeah, we've been talking to him. He's a cool guy. He's been talking to us. He lives actually where they made, I think it was Alan Wake.
That's what he said. I think Finland, right?
Yeah. So he asked, from which film would you want to see a game made from the most? And I actually had this answer right away.
Alright, so I have an answer for that also. However, it's been done. I just want a better one.
Oh, with Ghostbusters?
No.
Oh, alright. My answer is The Shining.
The Shining.
I would love to free roam.
Like a survival horror?
Yes.
Yeah.
Free roam in the freaking, oh my god, can you imagine in the Overlook Hotel?
I have a couple of them, actually. There's a handful, but I would love a Terminator game.
Oh, we have had a bunch, though.
We've had a bunch of Terminator games, but none of them are great. Like, I want a next-gen console Terminator game where I don't want to be a human. I want to be a T-800 on the hunt for something.
They'd never let us do that. That would be so fun.
You know, I want to be this unstoppable force and just be able to hunt something. Or I would because Friday the 13th, we got a game on that. And it was okay, but it's those 1v5 games. I want a single-player Friday the 13th game. I want a single-player Halloween game where, you know, you're running away from Michael Myers, or you even play as Michael Myers. That would be awesome. Or a RoboCop game.
Well, they're making a RoboCop.
Yeah, Rogue City. I know about that.
Yeah, so I'm curious what they do with that.
So I hope the RoboCop game is good.
Yeah, I was thinking, my mind went right to The Shining. Can you imagine just having the entire Overlook Hotel free roam and then, basically like what they've done with Resident Evil Village and, Biohazard.
Right, yeah, but with a property paint job.
I would love that. And then our last question of the week. Are you excited for the upcoming Max Payne 1 and 2 remake? And I'm just going to tell you right now, Gordon Freeman, I am 100% excited for the Max Payne 1 and 2 remake. I love the first two Max Payne games. I am more nostalgic for the first one. I know most people like the second one more. But I had a lot of fun with the first one. My old stepdad and I, we played that game together. And I have some good memories of playing the first Max Payne. And the snowy setting, that noir setting, I just love the first Max Payne. Max Payne 2 is just as good. I know most people prefer it, but Yeah, I like the first Max Payne a lot, and I can't wait to get my hands on those remakes.
Yeah, I actually did not play much of the first one or any of the second one, so yes, I'm actually excited to jump into these games for the first time.
Yeah, alright, that's awesome. I can't wait. Yeah, Gordon, yeah, I can't wait. I love Max Payne. It's really something I'm really looking forward to. We've got Remedy on the map.
However, my most anticipated game of the year so far, well, as of now, is going to be the Callisto Protocol. I'm a huge Dead Space fan. I love the survival horror games. Even though they scare the shit out of me, they tend to be some of my favorite games. And I absolutely love the Dead Space franchise. So Callisto Protocol is basically a spiritual successor to Dead Space. There is a full-on Dead Space remake from EA, but that's not until, I think, January of next year. So I'm also very excited for that. But the Callisto Protocol is the original developers of Dead Space, I believe. So it's going to be great. We're going to be eating good for Dead Space. Dead Space fans are going to be eating good the next couple months because Callisto Protocol, and then as soon as you're done with that game, we can jump right into the Dead Space remake. Let's rock and roll.
I actually owe you a Dead Space disc because Matt left it to me and I lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Matt, if you don't know Matt how he is with his stuff and lending it out, he turns into a psycho, and I lost the game from him, so.
Well, that's why I'm a psycho, because how do you lose an Xbox 360?
I was moving. That's
why.
It just happened when I was moving.
It's crazy.
I'm sorry. It's been 12 years.
I moved with fucking 3,000 games and movies, and I didn't lose one.
Yeah, I get that, and I'm sorry. But that's going to do it for us this week on Let's Talk Physical Media. We hope that we hit everything that we wanted to hit.
You have no more questions?
No, that's all the questions. We actually got through them all. We got through everything. This isn't everything we picked up for the month, but we're going to, like we said, we're going to add it when we pick up for the week into our videos, so to make it a little more condensed. And also, guys, if you have any more questions for us, like Frank, Gordon, and Tony, like anyone who has any questions, it doesn't have to be related to anything physical media, just any questions you want to ask us. Why does Matt wear those jeans? Please ask us. Please ask that question in the comment section below. Any of them, we'll answer them.
And it's funny, I actually remember I wore these jeans last video.
Yes, you did. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Because I haven't worn jeans. I don't really wear them during the week because I get home from work, I take my work clothes off, I take a shower, and I get in like a pair of sweatpants or something. So these went through the wash, and they were the first ones on the top of my jean drawer. So they're the ones I grabbed. And I noticed that when I sat down because they have the hole in it.
Yep. So if people want to ask about that, there you go. Any other question you guys want to ask, we love questions. Please ask them in the comment section below, or on Thursdays we always put out a Ask Us Anything post, so you can leave them there as well. And anyway, guys, that's going to do it for us here on Let's Talk. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Talk Physical Media. Nothing helps out more than by you liking this video, subscribing to the channel, running out to the street, screaming as loud as you could so you could tell all your friends about us.